of being guilty of what you might be accused of at the time. Gado Kilaik1 says it's a normal thing on that road. They should stop them from coming outside the station to do stop and search. It doesn't make any sense. So looking at this now, well, stop and search is one of the reasons. It's one of the ways they get to keep Nigeria and the streets safe and clean, but it doesn't mean that it's going to escalate into, dragging people to their sheds. I was made to understand that Nigerian police is your friend, but with the treatment I saw, Taser prank Two-Face, I don't think if his friend would be treating him or be dragging him by the shorts like that. Even if you be dragging him by the shorts, it would be in a joking manner or asking him not to get into a fight. But that wasn't looking like what a friend will do. So, which is something very, very concerning too. So now moving on away from police saga, Nigerian youth, let's move to our second story, where Rivers State Chief Judge declined to set up panel to investigate Governor Fubara. Yes, Governor Similare Fubara and his deputy have been under an impeachment spell. So conversations are all coming, but let me bring you up to speed with the report. The Chief Judge of Rivers State, Justice Simeon Amadi has declined to constitute a judicial panel to investigate Governor Similare Fubara, citing an existing court order restraining such action. Recall that last week, members of the State House of Assembly had requested the Chief Judge to set up a 7-member panel to probe Governor Similare Fubara and his deputy Ngozi Odu over alleged gross misconduct, including spending on budgeted funds from the state conferred. Justice Amadi's position was conveyed in a formal letter addressed to the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Martins, acknowledging the receipt of 2 separate requests from the legislature dated January 16, 2026. According to the Chief Judge, the Assembly's requests were accompanied by expensive documents, including copies of the notice of allegations of the gross misconduct, the Rivers State impeachment panel to conduct investigation procedure 2025 and relevant publications. However, Justice Amadi disclosed that his office had earlier been served with 2 interim injunctions issued by the Rivers State High Court, citing on January the 16th, saying that that should be on hold. So moving on, let's look at what the social media comments, what Nigerians are saying on the social media. Fubara was very smart for joining APC. Even his estranged godfather is neither in the PDP or the APC. Now, in line with these comments, now someone very close to me says that Fubara is no longer new. Everybody knows who Governor Fubara's godfather is, the current FCT minister, Nyeso Nweke, as his godfather. The rift has been ongoing back and forth. And someone I know very close to me has said that currently, as he stands, APC, Wike is not in the APC, and the PDP has disowned him. Now, there are 2 fractions of the PDP. One of my friends have actually alleged that the FCT minister currently is a freelance politician and he does not have a party. Now, with all these things going on, I know the APC would be siding their member, because currently, as it stands now, I think from what Segun Adedoke is saying, it looks like the ball is in the court of the APC and Fubara will be emerging victorious. But we'll see how that will turn out. Awotele 045 says, you guys are not politically smart. Same way you celebrated the 4 members, that the four members have withdrawn their petition. The aim is to knock off the injunction through the appeal and continue the process of Chief George nominating members of the panel to remove Fubara. Well, this is coming from a different political angle. This individual might be a core politician to be able to think about it in this light. And then Oyele on X says, yeah, First, the court ordered infringed the 1999 Constitution. However, let's disagree to agree. 7 days will be over and he will be constitutionally obliged to set up the panel. It's funny because the Chief Judge is an appointee, so he has to follow his master the same way the House members are following their master. The difference is that the House members are acting in accordance with the law and will most likely come out victorious, because at the end of the day, the rule of law is superior. If they impeach the governor, nothing will happen. Democracy. Wow. Yeah, if they impeach him, nothing will happen. But this conversation have been on and on and on, and people have had different conversations around dating experience. All these ladies and dating experience. Well, a Nigerian lady has said it is time men accept that money will always be part of every relationship, even when a woman is genuinely interested. Sharing a recent experience, she said a man messaged her expressing interest in marriage and asked her to travel to Abuja so they could go on a date and get to know each other better, including meeting families. According to her, when she asked what he did for a living and how much he earns monthly, the man became defensive and assured her of wanting to marry him because of money. She explained that her question was not about luxury or greed, but about understanding whether a man is financially capable of raising a family. The lady said the situation became more concerning when the man initially refused to disclose his income, insisting that a woman should not know how much a man earns. She described this as a red flag in her own opinion. Well, I'll bring my own opinion to this, but firstly, let's have a look at this video, and then we'll also bring you comments from what Nigerians think about this conversation.
I feel like it's high time men will start understanding the fact that even genuine women will still want your money. Yes, either way, your money must be involved. Your money must be involved. Okay? No matter how you try to twist it or run away from this topic, your money must be involved as a man. So I saw this guy, there's a guy that came to my DM a few days ago, and he was like, hope you are ready for marriage this year. Hope you're finally ready to settle down. I'm like, what's up? You want to marry me? And he was like, yes, he wants to marry me. That I should try and look for a way to come to Abuja. Let's go on a date. Let's get to know each other. That he wants to come and know my family and all that. And I asked him, and he said, what do you do? And he said he's into real estate, and he also works with his brother, and he has his own company too. I said, okay. And I said, how much do you make monthly? And he was like, if I was going to marry him because of his money. And I'm like, am I supposed to marry you because of poverty? I'm asking you how much you make monthly so that I can know if you are capable enough to raise a family, or if you're capable enough to get married. That's what I'm asking. He said, I'm not supposed to know how much you make monthly now. A woman is not supposed to know what a man earns, the amount of money a man earns. I'm like, I'm not supposed to know how much you earn as a man? I'm like, okay, that's a red flag. Yes. It was like, no, he make 20 million per each contract that they give to him. He get a contract of 20-30 million, and he makes 350 from his normal salary job. And I'm like, that's a red flag. When I asked you the first time, you'd have just given me a sincere answer. They just told me this is what I earn. You don't know why I was asking. You're telling me a woman is not supposed to know how much a man makes. Are you serious? I'm not supposed to know how much my husband to be.
You know, some persons will say double wahala for dead body, and some will say this matter tie gilly for head. Actually, it's looking as if this particular issue about relationship, men and women, money always has this gilly that it ties, that when someone is sitting in front of you, will not be able to know what's happening, ahead. Now, let me just go straight to the streets of the social media and then get you straight comments from Nigerians where they say, this is coming from Juan Uchenna. I totally agree with her, especially when she has the leverage. What's the leverage? Which are beautiful youth options, etc. And if she only if she obviously asked nicely. That's one. And then Dalhammer Rowe also said, asking a man or a woman how much she earned monthly is in the talking stage is a gobbling behavior. And then this is coming from my John Jeffrey. Depends on when you are asking him that question. He surely he will surely answer you at the right time. For me, based on this conversation and what's actually happening, well, someone cannot immediately ask you out on a date and then you will jump and be asking him how much he's making or how much do you have. It gets to a point where you will definitely, both of you will sit and have a conversation about income, because you come in and asking, okay, can I take you out on a date? I want to marry, I want to get to know you. And then you're like, boom, how much do you make? Of course, for the guy too is a red flag. But it depends on what you both finally want. And it depends on how long you've been able to know this person. Because I don't think you would wake up. This is not the 1940s where someone can just jump to you and tell you, I want to marry you. And then you follow him and then boom, you're married. It's a different scenario. It's a different century. But the number one thing for both guys, definitely for a guy to open up and want to take things seriously and want to get married, that means he knows how much he's making, he knows how much he has saved up, and then he must be ready to be able to add up another person that he'll be taking care of. Now, not just you, your family too will definitely come into the picture. So he must be ready to take that serious, bold step. And then you, for your woman now, just being like, okay, yes, you want to marry me, fine, how much do you have? You're not for sale, beautiful woman. You're a queen. You should have more conversations. The first question should be like, how do you plan to lead the family? That should be your first question, not like how much do you have. Yes, money, answered all things, is biblical, but that shouldn't be the number one thing you should be looking at. So this is how much time can permit us to take on today's edition of Social Buzz. We can't just, be asking all of those questions, but straight up, you would want to join this conversation, and we want you to always stay glued to Global Television. And Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on StarTimes channel 276. Also, if you are just tuning in, you can watch this particular episode on YouTube at Global Television NG. Kindly subscribe. It's absolutely free, and turn on the notification button. I am Samuel Odi. Until I come your way next time, bye for now.